What is up, guys? Private Eye Russ here, and welcome to another episode of the Private Eye Russ podcast. I am your host, owner, operator, full-service private investigation and security consulting firm, criminal defense investigations, litigation support investigation, corporate theft investigations, pre-long-term relationship or marital investigations to give you a look into the past of the person you're going to be linking yourself with for all eternity. You owe it to yourself to know so you can make an informed decision. All right. Also, too, if you're a man in need of personal coaching as far as decision making, as far as what to look out for, how to vet women going forward, how to handle certain situations, I can help you with this, for this and all these other services I listed. Reach out to me at russ at privateeyeruss.com. That's privateeyerus.com. Alternatively, you can send me a direct message on X at privateeyeruss. I'm there every single day. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this story. And this is one of those stories that was it's a variation of the honey trap. If you're not aware of what the honey trap is or the honey pot is, the honey pot is utilizing your sexual desires to entrap you or ensnare you, or into this case, to bring about your ultimate demise. All right. So this is a case file. It's not a story. This is a case file here in Florida. And so, unfortunately, many such stories. So, young man is deleted in the prime of life. He was caught up outside a young lady's house, and he was deleted. So police initially thought it was a robbery, but when they examined him, he still had gold chains, he still had jewelry, wallet, phone, all these different things that a robber would theoretically take. So I'm working on this case from the from the civil side. It was a negligent security case that I got put on by one of my attorney clients. So as I start looking into things more and more, I started interviewing people, start tracking people down. You start with the narrative. It's still an open homicide case. So you don't get access to the complete report. Sometimes you can, if you know the detective. I know some of them, I don't know. So there's that. So based on that, I started piecing things together and started talking to people. So here's ultimately what happened. This young man had a hankering, and that's kind of Southern speak for a desire for a young lady that he really, really wanted to hook up with. But she was always playing keep away. So he, wasn't the dude that she wanted. Now, this young man was involved in some nefarious activity, and he was still actively involved in that nefarious activity. So in the South, these Southern brothers, man, like they hold on to beef for eternity. Like it never ends, man. And so they just go back and forth at each other, and it's a war of attrition that will never end, because this happens to that guy, you delete my friend, well, I'm going to delete your friend or delete you, and back and forth and back and forth. Well, this one, they couldn't get a hold of him. This guy was slick, he was smart, very careful. When I hear usually about a lot of guys involved in the gang lifestyle, they'll be doing things like barbecues in the park, and I'm sitting like, you guys know people want to delete you. Why are you out in public? But whatever. And I had one guy tell me that, well, real gangsters don't hide. Okay, well, real gangsters wind up in a box, or in prison, which is typically ultimately where they wind up congregating in one of those two places. So they couldn't get this guy. They tried several times. He was too slick. He was too smart, and he understood how to cover his tracks and be good. So this young lady that he'd wanted since high school, they started texting back and forth. She reaches out to him. He reaches back out to her. They start texting, blang, 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 blang. And you probably already know what happened, right? So, but we're going to go ahead and talk it through anyway. And we're going to give some lessons at the end of this, right? So she talks him into coming over, right? And so he had her over at his place, but his place is more secure, so he's on home territory. And she's like, and I found this out later on. I have a birthday party from one of my children, because in the South they can't say children for some reason, they say children. Don't know why. And so he decides, okay, you know what? Me and her have been kicking it for a little while. Let me go to her place. She seems safe. Well, it wasn't really that way. So not only wasn't it that way, just the opposite. So this young woman had been paid money and promised more to put this man on the X. Now, for people who don't know, executive protection speak, military speak, private security detail speak, putting someone on the X is where you can target them. So if you're on the X and someone's targeting you, you want to get off the X. And so her job was to get him on the X, right? So, but this guy is not a stupid guy. So when he pulls up, and this came to light later on in the during the trial. When he's pulling up, he says, "Hey, I'm here. Meet me at the door so I don't have to wait outside." Like literally, that's what his text said. "Okay, I'm here, ready to go. When you pull up, the door will be open." So he had communicated to her that he had there's opposition, enemies that wanted to delete him and relieve him of his life and remove him from this mortal plane, right? So he gets up. She's on, and these apartments are like in a breezeway type area. So he parks, walks into the breezeway, and he's in a fatal funnel. So as he's in a breezeway, he rings the doorbell, nothing. Rings the doorbell again, nothing. And here come his ops. He tries to run. They go pew, 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 launching projectiles at him, and he is struck several times by these projectiles. He makes it to his vehicle, starts his vehicle, and starts driving down the road, but ultimately succumbs to his injuries, and he collapses behind the wheel, and that's the end of his days here on the face of the earth. And so all the rest of the details, some of it I pieced together, some of it was revealed in the court documents and in the police report from the detectives. And look, I talk all the time about being able to control your lower self. I'm going to make a video soon about what I think is just the biggest goofball of the year so far. He's in media, sports media. You guys know who I'm talking about. But, man, he just foolishness. So your lack of control and a desire for an individual. If a woman has been playing keep away from you for a long time, here's the thing, guys. She didn't suddenly develop a burning desire for you. There's a reason she's doing. Either you got a lot of money, or she's in a position of desperation. She didn't suddenly just change her mind like that. Women don't develop desire for guys. I know people think they do, and guys think they can win a woman's heart over. They don't develop desire for you. They either have it for you or they do not have it for you. If they don't, your best bet is not to try to tap dance and win her over. Find somebody who does desire you. All right? That's a really, really important lesson. I cannot stress that enough. Write that down. Women do not develop desire for men. Okay? They do not. All right? If a woman all of a sudden has a change of heart and you've been trying for years to go out with her, well, you know what? It's a money grab, or to gain access to your resources, or she had no place else to go. Or she's just trying to, she wants to hook up with you because she sees you hooking up with other people. Either way, walk away from that sort of situation. Okay, so in this particular instance, he broke protocol with his safety procedures. Now, they hadn't been able to get him before because he was very careful, but the inexorable siren's call of the magic cookie in her private lady parts called him and got him out of his comfort zone, and which ultimately led to him being placed on the X, and he's gone now. Okay, so what was the ultimate? Okay, so two men were convicted of deleting him, and I don't remember how many years they got, but it was significant. The young lady, can anybody guess? Place it in the comment section below. Can you guys guess how much time this woman got for setting this guy up and being involved in a criminal conspiracy that ended in a man's deletion? Anybody? And she got paid for it. And she actually got paid for it. Can anybody? No? No? Okay, well, here's what she did. She turned state's evidence, gave up the ghost, and she never spent a day behind bars. Man's gone. One man is gone. Two other men are, in essence, gone. They'll be gone for quite some time, and rightfully so. And she gets nothing. And that will often be the case. You'll go, You go to prison, you go to the hospital, you go to the morgue, and they will get absolutely nothing. And I'm pretty sure she started a GoFundMe because she was so traumatized by the trial and all the accusations and everything else. And so on top of being paid, she got paid by more people who felt sorry for her for some reason or another. Anyway, so while you guys are here, please hit like, subscribe, share. We've got over the 1,000 subscriber hunt. So guess what we got to do now? We've got to get to 2,000 subscribers. So like, subscribe, share with other men. These are important lessons that guys need to hear. So going forward, maybe more and more men can avoid this sort of fate. I've got more of these stories. You guys like these other stories? Let me know in the description or the comment section below. And this is your boy, Private RUSS. I will talk to you guys in the next one. I'm out.